Okay, good morning, family. I love you. Great day. I have something really important to share, and I'm going to try really hard not to get too fired up about this, but this all just came together in slams of puzzle pieces together in my head this morning after a bit of a journey. So I've written some notes to keep my thoughts straight. Just going to share this with you as quickly as I can, okay? All right. First of all, I have been struggling with a personal problem that I'm having with some goals that I am trying to achieve, and I'm just not getting anywhere. I'm getting no success, and I have been very frustrated with it, and I've been looking into myself to find out what is my motivation behind even wanting to do this, trying to make sure that maybe it's not happening because it's a wrong motivation, those kind of things. Just kind of wrestling with it. It was starting to derail me and consume me a little bit, and I could feel it. So last night when I went to bed, I reached out. This is the first time I've encompassed all three. I reached out to the Creator, I reached out to you and all of us, my family of light, and I reached out to myself, my higher self that's already in the finished dimension where I'm complete and whole, and that, is referred to as the kingdom of heaven by Yeshua. But anyways, all three of those, I said, I need answers. So I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm just going to wait for them. Well, I got woke up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning by my dog, actually. But when I was getting ready to go back to sleep, the answer just came very quickly, and it did not solve my goal that I have. It did not solve the problem, how to get there, but it did solve the struggle that was within me. Great, good. Okay, I've got it. I also shared it this morning on the Global Witness social site. And you can see the post. I talked about how when you feel like you don't know, and you really want to know the answers and you're struggling because you can't seem to solve a problem, it's okay. Don't worry about not knowing. Don't let yourself think that you're failed, that you have failed, or that there's something wrong with you, or to get anything of that negative, perspective going on. It's okay not to know and not have an answer to something that is important. To ask for the answer and then be patient and wait. If it doesn't come, be patient some more. But the whole point of the powers that be was to get me to focus on that frustration that I was having with the problem, regardless of whether it got solved or not. And I didn't know it in the moment, but that's what needed to change. And it did. It changed my whole perspective. I got that answer. I shared it with you guys. You can go to my profile page and check it out. Sometime today in the morning I shared it. And I had perfect peace and perfect love. I fell back to sleep. I got up this morning thinking, great, I felt like me, the spiritual real me, the one that's ascended, the one that I'm getting more and more used to, I should say. Okay, so that's the first part of this. Okay, I posted it. Okay, I've got my thoughts written down, and I apologize for notes, but it was coming so fast that I had to jot down scribbles, and then I deciphered my scribbles into actually enumerated notes. So I apologize if this seems clinical, but it is what it is, right? Okay. I was on the site socializing, talking to people, giving little nuggets, getting little nuggets, how it goes. And I watched something that someone posted, just because it shot my curiosity. I've been having lots of curiosities about different things, but not really thinking much of them like it meant anything to me per se. So anyways, I watched this video, okay? And at this point now, what I want you to do is watch the video, because if you just pause this video right now, here, where you're at, pause it, tuck me away for a couple minutes. The link to this video is in my very first pinned comment on this video. I highly recommend that you do it now, so that everything I say from here on out, you understand. Of course, if you're just not in the mood to do that, or you're like, yeah, I want to watch the rest, I may not even be interested in this, that's fine too, because you will get it one way or another. But the best thing to do would be go watch the video, and then when I share this with you, it will make a whole lot more sense. Okay, it's a video about the god Sheva. The Lord Sheva is coming, and she's unhappy. In that title alone, that would have derailed me from reading it, because, and I will admit that, and that's not a proper attitude, but I don't want to hear about the Lord Sheva, because I don't buy into that truth for someone else. That doesn't do anything for me. So I would have never watched this on my own, but something drew me to it. So I watched it. Okay? I watched the video. Huge aha moment about all this stuff that we're learning. And I don't know about you, but some of these things, I'm cherry picking all this information from everybody, from Naughty, from WSO, from, not so much from Derek, because he focuses on just truth. He's not talking about the planetary things that are going on and the other belief systems that are going on and these things that we learn about, right? Okay, so all the things that we're hearing about, Enki, Enlil, the blue Kachina, the red Kachina, Well, let's see what else. There's some other ones here too that I jotted down. I'll get to them when I get to them. Marduk, the moon, all these things. The Palladian story, all of that. You know, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm grasping all this. I'm pretty intelligent. I have a pretty decent intelligence, relatively high IQ. I definitely pick things up, but I'm finding that myself even, some of these things, they don't fit together. They haven't made sense. And I find it kind of almost distracting. So I put it all on the shelf, just like, you know, Derek teaches, put it on the shelf. I didn't know that it was going to come into a culmination like it has this morning. And hopefully this helps you. And that's the only reason why God would give it to me, is what I can think, you know? All right. I've also been drawn to something else. The 11-11-11 thing. Didn't really know why. Sorry, I got something stuck on my tooth. I don't know why, but I was drawn to it. I wasn't really buying into a lot of the stuff that I was, you know, hearing. And what I mean by buying in is my spirit said that's not truth. I'll just shelf it. That's what I mean by that. But I was still drawn to it. So I kept my eyes open for it. First of all, let's go into this video, okay? This is basically a Hindu religious video because they're talking about the Lord of Shiva and their belief system. But the facts in this video are absolutely undeniable. It talks about this 3-planet system and how it passes our eclipses our solar system about every 3,000 years. And Naughty Beaver put up something about this too, and he got into details about it. There was another Hindu leader who talked about this passing that happens and where it's at right now and what it means. All of this information is absolutely accurate. Well, this just ties it into everything. Watch the video, you'll see what I mean. It made it abundantly clear. I'm like, this is what this is all about. So that's the video. Watch it and you'll know what I mean. Now on 11-11-11, which that last 11, no, it's not 2011, but 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 is 11. So it is 11-11-11. I've been reading a lot about this as a spiritual portal for manifestation, spiritual ascension. There's something big and powerful about this day. And you know what? Something in my heart said there is, but it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. I've seen lots of comments about it, and everybody's, you know, got something, but they don't have it. Well, for me, and for anybody else this resonates with, that day comes, you know, right before the trip, the Hopi trip, which starts on the 29th, right? I've been drawn to this Hopi thing from day one, didn't know why. The Hopi prophecy, all of it, just drawn to it, but none of it made any sense. So on that day, you, me, the family of light, everyone that you speak to that is awake needs to be in vigilant, focused. I don't want to say prayer because we should be talking to our Father all the time, but focus on light and love, and don't even let one low frequency enter your day for that 24-hour period on that day. And we need to keep focus on the Hopi trip the entire day. Now, I'm just telling you this. If it resonates with you, you're the one that needs to do this. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. That's what this day is about, okay? And I do believe it is a spiritual portal, if you will. It's a place that's going to open up and give us the ability for the manifestation of the greatest thing we've ever done. I read this and I thought to myself, what could that possibly mean? Well, the coming of the new earth and the new heaven, the collapse of all the dimensions, and Father's true plan for us finally coming to pass, pretty big, right? So on that day, that's what this is about, okay? So it's huge. It's huge. So now I know what that was drawing my attention for. This video will explain everything. It ties it all together. Enki, Enlil, Blue Kachina, Red Kachina, the Palladian story, the aliens, the ships that we see in the sky, the pictures of the planets that we've seen, all this information that can be so mind-boggling. Well, it makes sense. It ties it all together in one simple explanation. All right? And the Hopi, the way they describe the Blue Kachina and the Red Kachina and all these, it seems like they're like these gods, and they're like these beings that come in actual vessels and things, and whatever they described, they were very simple-minded indigenous people. So they explained it the best way that they could that made sense to them. It has a truer explanation, of course, but they have it on the nose, and that's why Derek is going up there. This is huge. There is something in those caves, something that is going to be allowed to be seen. I don't know where or what, but it's going to tie into this whole thing. You watch when he comes back. You watch this video again, and I guarantee you there's something about it. It will tie in. That's why we need to be vigilant on 11-11-11. This is huge for our family, for our job, what we have to do, okay? This is a 3-planet system. Now, we've all seen the information. We've seen it. Nirubu, or Planet X, whatever you want to call it, it's the big one. And then there's a little blue planet, little red planet, Blue and Red Kachina, right? And they are doing this circular motion around our solar system all the time and have been since the beginning of this whole thing. This is the Lord of this world's design. Enki, Enlil, the brothers, the twins, whatever you want to call them, the powers that have created this construct to use us as batteries and to suck the energy out of us and to try to attain what we have, which they can't because the Father gave it to us. This whole construct was built by them, this 3 planetary system, and Marduk and the moon ship, the idea that the moon is not even the moon. It's actually something waiting to take place in this end situation. It's a battleship, more than likely. All of this gets tied into this video, all of it. You don't have to rack your brains anymore. That's what this is about, is focus, people. Focus. We can put this aside now. We can have a decent enough understanding of what is happening in the cosmos outside of us and what is happening here. This is why we're waking up. This is why these forces are happening. This is it. So this gives you an explanation, and at least for me, I hope it resonates with someone else, but for me, I can put the whole thing away. No longer do I don't need to hear any more about that. I don't need to learn any more about it. I don't need to be preoccupied with it. It's the truth, but the enemy's going to use it to preoccupy you, to keep you off focus. He'll use anything he can. Anything. Okay. This is our matrix control center, these 3 planets. This, and I'm not sure exactly all the, of course I can't possibly know, this is otherworldly stuff. This is 5th, 6th, 7th, who knows what dimension information. But I do know that it's the construct of the powers that rule this world, this harvest field where we're being grown and cultivated in order to be used. It fits in, I said with the Palladians, I wrote this here, but it fits in with the Palladian story because our family is coming. They're coming. They're getting ready to help us and to save us. And I'm wondering if those, the ships that they saw on either side of the polarity, I'm thinking that's the Palladians. I'm thinking that's the good guys. And the ship armada that we saw in that one video with all the ships, our family is here. And those are Merkabas, probably, that personal space that you can travel interdimensionally with, which we've heard about. I didn't really understand it. Had somebody explain it to me. This is just my thought. But those are very likely the family of light. And they're on the poles for a reason because, like Derek said, when they join us in consciousness and we get to be together in the realest, fullest sense, that polarity shift's going to happen. And it's going to be because of the love that we have within us, that frequency, all of us together. We're going to fix that problem right away. So our family's coming. That Palladian story, absolutely accurate, ties into this. They're going to join us, and then those of us that are awake, the ones that I'm talking to right now that are hearing this, we will rescue humanity, and all the dimensions are going to collapse together into one new place, new heaven, new earth. Time will be gone. It will not exist anymore because time is a construct that was developed by the powers that rule this world to keep us in a prison and keep us confined. New heaven, new earth, and then finally, the Father's original plan for his children, to have this planet and to have this place for our home. It will be a new heaven and a new earth. That will begin. And I don't say it's the end because it's just the beginning of something even more unbelievable. So that's my message. And let's see, it's only 13 minutes. I was hoping it was going to be pretty short because I really didn't want to take up your whole day. Plus I have an appointment I got to get to. I love you guys so much. And this was a lot. I think I got everything in it. But this was a succession of steps that took place. I had no idea that this stupid, dumb little physical problem I was having was keeping me from being able to connect. And see, that's what it's all about. Anytime you get into this flesh. All right, I will share it with you because some of you might get into this, okay? I struggle with self-image in my flesh. Whole childhood history to explain that. Maybe one day I'll go into my story. Maybe if you guys are interested in hearing my crazy story from the beginning of this trip, back when I was a kid, all the way up to here, and the things that have happened to me. If you're interested, I'd love to tell you, but I'm not going to do it unless you're interested. But anyways, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was going to tell you what it was that I was struggling with. I struggle with self-image. I also have a severe serotonin depletion in my brain. It's a chemical reality. I've always had problems with that. It's part of autism. People who have autism struggle with brain chemicals. And so to self-medicate my whole life, I ate high carbohydrate foods, candy, junk, anything that had high empty carbohydrates, because it made me feel better for a little while. But of course, the side effect of that is huge amounts of weight, health issues, whatnot. Well, I'm healthy now. I'm strong. I'm in a very good place. I've managed to get there, but there's a little further that I want to go, and I can't seem to get there. And it really bothers me because there's just something about it that draws me to it. I worry that it's vanity, and I worry that, that it has to do with whether or not, my twin flame out there, if you believe that that's the right word, or whoever it is the Father has in mind for me, will even find me attractive like this. And see, that's what I was struggling with. I just felt very strongly just to share that with you. I don't have anything to hide anyway. But the struggle hasn't been solved. I still don't know the answer yet, but it's going to come. What the problem was, though, and what I was getting to before I started that story, was that's not the issue. Anytime you get into this flesh, anytime you think that this means anything, you're going to get derailed, because this is what has the control wires hooked to us. Take that thing out of your head. Every time you get into the flesh, you put it back in, and then the matrix can get a hold of you and play with you. Keep you from your purpose. So don't do it. Don't get into the flesh for no matter what reason. I'll be alone the rest of my life and thrilled to be in this place for the rest of my life if that's what it takes. I'd much rather that than get lost in my flesh. I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. And once again, hit the link in there. Go watch this video, because for me, it was just like boom. And now I can just put it away and move forward at the plan at hand, because it's coming, people. It's coming, and time is so much shorter than you think, like I've said before. I love you guys. Have a great day.